Live then. Da, 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 da. What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. I'm here. You know, on Mondays, I leave it till that last almost spark of energy is gone in what I want to contribute to my own movement. And then I come in with that block that I saved just for right? Just for my live, just for my podcast, and I come in. But boy, when I come in, and the reason I do come in, I'm one of those people who feel good, right? That feel worthy, that feel that they have something to contribute when they've actually contributed, when I've actually accomplished something. I've always been that way. Even in today, it's my day off. I'd like to try and sit down and relax because I didn't drink enough water again this weekend. And last night I stayed up for most of the night with Charlie horses, right? And I know it's because I don't drink enough water. I make a point of going to the grocery store tomorrow and get all kinds of non-caffeinated fluids. And, I've been spending time in my house preparing and cleaning and, every movement that I see, everything that I can check off the list is being complete. It gives me that feeling of accomplishment that makes me happy, right? I'm not like whipping myself. I'm not forcing myself to do these things. It's just my nature. It's just the way I am. My sisters constantly are commenting on, they just can't believe that I have so much energy. Where do you get the energy? How come you can keep on going? Like, are you serious? You want to do that now? And it's all the time. But in all honesty, I have to say I don't know where it comes from. I recognize a little bit it there myself. Everybody recognize it, and for me, it's in other people's recognition that I recognize, right? So again, I need that little bit of mirroring back to me before I actually sometimes, able to absorb things a little bit properly. This week we got our 54th powerful word. You know what that means. It's our very last word in this deck that I'm putting together. Just one more word. We're going to have one more word after this, right? Because I thought we only had 1 week before I take off on my holidays. We have two. So why don't we fill it with all those words that did not make it to the list and make this one card the joker of the deck, right? Isn't that a good idea? Just put them all in a cup and we'll just pick one word and that will be, right, just kind of like the bonus word. And, but today I'm a little bit nervous, right? We've been getting those words that have been really attached to my sensitivities. And, I get it. I recognize the serendipities, how these words have been served up to me. I have been in the words. I'm getting better for myself in getting in those words, like actually delving into them for the whole week, not just coming into my life and just going into the topic at that time. Even though tonight will be the first night we're going to take a look at our last word in that deck that I'm putting together. Okay. Grateful that I make movement, baby steps, right? I believe in baby steps. It's, where we're meant to be in that accomplishment of the best human being we possibly can be. It's so far away, you know. And if you hang out with me, maybe you have that idea too that it's not even going to be in our own lifetime. That, sometimes our traditions and cultures and political ideas and religious ideas, they kind of hold us back a little bit to what is really in store for us, because that's the truth, because we're moving forward. We're moving forward. So, what's in store for us? And I think sometimes, right, we are the creations that just dig in their heels and have to be dragged along the way. I'm hoping to make that little bit of process a little bit easier for me, a little bit easier for those other parts of me, and a little bit easier for you, right? Just in my sharing of my own experience. An experience I believe that everybody, somewheres down the line is going to have, right? It's not like Bewitched and you wiggle your nose and bang, right? It happens just like that. Though some people, right, would like to think that it does. It's in that pursuit, it's in that movement, it's in that evolution, right? You know, I had it in mind just now, so I have to just vocalize it. If you guys hang out with me, I love evolution. I love this idea of delving back into humanity in a social, cultural manner, understanding the emotions, understanding those survival mechanisms for a lot of us that we had to live with, right? That's passed down from one generation to another, understanding that, we have to have a few experiences without those experiences in order to have those experiences drawn out of our systems. If that makes any sense to anybody, go back and read that again or listen to that again. Because, we are, right? We are what we come from. We are what we learn. We are what we experience in our lives. And a lot of that is going to impact, and it's going to impact us forever for this entire life, that it is going to stop us from meeting some of those potentials that possibly we had set forth for ourselves. But the attitude is not to go in there and go, oh, I'm never going to be that Olympic gold medal gymnast. I'm 62 years old. That isn't going to happen. But if I love that, if that's a passion of mine, if I'm drawn to that, there's ways that I can be close to it at the very least. Yes, I won't meet my potential in this lifetime, but I'm still going to make movement. I'm still going to keep that connection to what this soul really loves and is trying so desperately to keep a connection to, right? That if I keep that experience alive, that even if I don't meet this potential in this lifetime, that maybe in the next lifetime, those other parts of me will have an experience that they can join forces with something or someone else that is trying to create the best human being we possibly can. And I only say that because it takes all kinds to make the world. That's the world that we live in, right? Or should I say, that's the world that we should understand and live in. But lots of us, again, traditions, cultures, political ideas, religious ideas, so much more, right? That we don't really get to see the whole experience. We only get to see those small experiences, and I think that's okay too. right? As long as we're moving, as long as we're moving, those lessons will come across our path, and that's the truth. I recognize it in my own experience and what I'm doing here online, and I wouldn't be here online if I hadn't had those lessons, right? We're making some movement and some serious movement, and what that's going to look like down the road, I have no idea, right? Am I nervous about it? No, because I have a few tools around my belt, right? That I'm using in the process of staying busy. And you guys, all I said I wanted to do on this set of days off was get the packing done for the clothes. I want to minimalize on everything. I got the first round down. We're going to see if we can cut that back by 1/3. That would be absolutely amazing. I understand the places I'm going. I have comfort stations and laundromats, right? I'll be able to do a load of laundry, and I'll definitely will because I'll be spending a lot of time in dirt. Pretty excited, you guys. Pretty excited. Okay, can we just get now into our 54th powerful word, our last official word in this deck that, right, it was something that was meant to bring content to my life as I was working towards some of those other goals, some of those other dreams, some of those other ambitions, right, that I had. And it certainly did that 100%, but at the same time, right, it wasn't free. Not saying it wasn't free in a bad way, because, like what I said when I came in live, in feeling that accomplishment, that's what makes me feel good. And when I recognize that I've taken in the lessons, that I have a better understanding, that I'm actually able to use those tools that I'm putting on that tool belt of mine, and actually seeing it for myself, that, right, oh, I'm doing something here, you guys. I'm doing something here. And if this 62-year-old woman from Winnipeg, Manitoba can do it, what's stopping you from trying? Seriously, right? What are the ingredients in your recipe, right? Takes all kinds to make the world. Okay, you guys, let's do that word. I have my highlighter. Our 54th powerful word, our very last word in this deck project that we have been putting together. It's not complete yet. It's distribution. It's manufacturing first. Maybe some marketing. I have no idea. It's a process. I'm a process, and we'll pick up those lessons along the way. Okay, our 54th powerful word. Okay, I have to move up. Okay, we got it. Here it is. It's a good word for a last word. It's a word that I'm excited to have as our 54th word. And in the lessons that I've taken, I just have to say that for just remembering the lessons that I pick up along the way. You know, this happiness in what you do, in loving what you do. We know we have to contribute. It's important that we contribute. It's the buffer in our experience. It's the abundance in our experience. It's the movement in our experience. And so, we have to do it. We don't have a choice. But the thing is, isn't it amazing that we got ourselves to the point that we understand that we do have a choice, and have that opportunity, no matter how old you are, how far behind you think you are, how inefficient and incapable and unworthy that you think you are. Because you know what? That's exactly where I started at. That's exactly where I started at. And you ain't taking my tools away from me. I earned those 100%. You guys, happiness. Well, the way I came in, happiness for me is in that accomplishment, right? Getting things done. Using that little bit of extra energy that whoever or whatever gave to me in my life, that gave me the other supporting ingredients like my own good health to go along with that good energy, right? That good sense to go along with that little recipe. My determination to not give up, to just keep going, right? Just to never stop. Just even if it's like baby movement, even if they have to put on like super speed movement in order to see that movement, right? Baby steps, right? And then just find something that you love. Create the best life for yourself, because in that finding what you love, you're going to find what you're going to give back to the world. You're going to make people smile. You're going to make people feel good. You're going to make people appreciate their own uniqueness by sharing your own uniqueness. And that's the truth, because that's what I'm doing. And you know, if you hang out with me for a little while, right? I think not such a little while, it has been a ride. Then maybe you might realize that about me. You're hanging out with me for a reason, and that's the truth, right? Okay, you guys, we've got this word happiness, and we have to really look at what makes us happy. That's the first thing. What makes us happy? Mother Nature makes me happy. Being out on the road makes me happy. Accomplishing, right? Even though accomplishing quite often just means work, right? Whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, right? Putting in that effort and having that recognition of a job well done, that makes me happy. And right, that's a little bit different. And I think in the networks that I float around in, I think that might be a little bit of a gift, right? In that whistle while you work, in always, right, moving in the direction, right? And not protecting myself, but in that hypervigilance, like I was a movie star and there's security guards all around me, and right, and I could just walk normally, understanding that everything is going to be okay, because I want to be happy in this creation of the best human being I possibly can. I want to be, I want to be human, right? I want to be human. I think those other parts of me want to have that experience of being human, but at the same time, they want to make that movement forward. So again, one of those things that make me happy, right? Not just accomplishing those tools and those medals and badges, and right. Another thing that is super important to me, that makes me happy in what I'm doing, is the fact that I'm doing, right? what I love, those things that I never thought I would have the possibility, right, of ever even accomplishing, let alone even realize I could try if I want to. Right? I always thought, oh my goodness, Cindy, right? What are you thinking? And all those things, all those limiting beliefs that I've lived with for my entire life, all jumbled to the surface in a huge trigger that just makes it so that I give up even thinking of trying because it's too such of a mess, too much of a tanglement of emotions and right and well those fears, those uncertainties, right? And maybe sometimes that lack of belief that we can drum up the courage to do something that in this moment is a little bit outside of ourselves, right? Maybe just a little bit far, too far in reach. Right? But with a few lessons, a few conversations, with a few experiences, you build up those tools. Maybe it's not so difficult, right? No matter when you start, no matter where you're starting at, right? If you want to know where I started at, all you have to do is go back into some of those old videos of mine and hang out with me back then. She was a pretty cool girl too. She is a pretty cool girl. Wait for it, you guys. We're going to have a fantastic time. We're heading out on a trip. It makes me happy being out on the road, Mother Nature, having new experiences, bumping into people I've never met before, right? And again, having experiences because it's always experience and it's always a surprise as to what that experience is, right? But I'm jumbling it all together, recognizing, right, that all parts of me was in the creation of this little bit of a thank you to myself for not giving up, right? Okay, you guys. That's my good share. I'll see you tomorrow.